Welcome back to Yalla Salesforce. Thank you very much for joining that early. Really appreciate the time and effort making it happen live. Again, this is a live session, so if you have any questions, feel free to raise your hand. Let's make it collaborative. Let's work together in that module. What we are doing over the last weeks and months and years, that we are going through Yalla Salesforce Trailmix. We are continuing our journey with we covered all the foundation, then we went to the business process automation, covering all the flows related modules, and now we started to dig more into the admin journey. We covered most of the admin trail mix, and within admin trail mix, we started to get the cert prep platform administrator. And since we are wrapping up the first section, which is 15% of the exam for the platform administrator, we found that there is a new module came to the picture, which is the setup with Agentforce for admins. So let's bring the Agentforce and the agentic experience into the admin life and see the art of possible for Agentforce. So we have this module for today, setup with Agentforce for admins, where we're going to create objects, flows, manage users, creating a sharing rule for a public group. So we're going to do that together. As well, we can learn and earn. So we will go beyond the earning the points and badge for today, but we have as well set up with Agentforce Quest, which you can, this is the main module behind it. So there are a lot of other great videos as well, part of TDX and the limited series for setup with Agentforce. So go beyond the trail and go through those videos, and you can earn even more with this setup with Agentforce Quest. All right, so let's jump to it. Before we start, we need to create our playground. So it's hit this button and it's gonna work in the background in order to create the playground, which will enable you to do all the hands-on experience part of this session. Here we are starting with what is set up with Agentforce. So it's mainly whatever we used to do over the last weeks in getting prepared for being an admin. We used to click in a lot of places, moving from screen to another. Now we have a one centralized place where we can use our natural language, write stuff in there, and let Agentforce handle it for you. So this can navigate from managing users, even asking for a help article for certain functionality, troubleshoot user access, org-wide default, sharing rules, flows, all of the things that we used to do it over a couple months we done together. Now we can just ask the agent, and the agent gonna get it done for us. So far, so good. So this is gonna be the scope for our session for today. Today, we have the scenario for the Coral Cloud Resorts. We have our resort. We have a lot of visitors coming in here to enjoy their life, but our admin is very busy doing all of these admin stuff. We have rentals that we need to manage through Salesforce. We used before to use it using piece of paper and pen. Now we need to automate that. We're going to create a custom object to manage the rentals. We're going to create a flow. So when visitors return those rentals, send them a thank you email. All of that, we're going to do it today within a couple minutes using Agentforce for setup. All right. So now your Agentforce playground is ready. All of what we're going to do, we're going to do launch, and we're going to put it in here. And now we have the module and the playground. So let's get started and play. So in order to do that, we're going to do permission sets. As a refresher for our awesome admins, permission sets is an extension for the profiles. We agreed before when we create a user, we assign a profile, the best practice in there, like taking into consideration the least privilege guiding principle, we are giving minimum access. And in order to expand this minimum access, we keep creating permission sets. And then we bundle those permission sets within permission set groups. So in here, in order for us to get access to the Agentforce, we need to create a new permission set. And we're going to do that. This is going to be the manual, the last manual step. We're going to do part of this module because afterward, once we enable it, everything going to be Agentforce moving forward. So go to the setup, and you have your playground up and running, and we're going to do the steps. Any blockers? All good?
Yep, I was trying to find my new button.
Yeah, no problem.
It's like, where did it go?
Awesome. So setup, permission sets, And then let's see.
Always best practice to use description so our Agentforce is informed at the metadata level.
Ah, nice. Yes. And the great thing is in here, when we go and create an object, it's gonna do all of that magic for us. So the whole description is gonna be by Agentforce. So admin life will be way easier moving forward for sure. So set up with Agentforce, and then required user permission. Ah, so you were doing the description in here. Required. I will follow your path. Required for Agentforce for setup. Nice. All right. So we don't need a license, but if you specify the license in here, it's gonna be only limited to be assigned for anyone has this specific license. And we discussed last time that we have the user license and we have the feature license, and this is only for the user license. So you have the option to say this permission set is only available for this specific license if you specify that license. Right. Now, let's navigate to the system permissions. So system permissions will be on the bottom here. And within the system permission, what we need to do, use setup with Agentforce. So I'm going to copy it, and we'll go for the edit. Find use with Agentforce. This is checkbox, and we're going to hit it. And then we're going to save the permission set in order to have it ready. Now, there is no permission set gonna function without assignment. So after we create the permission set, now we have this power to assign it to our user. We're gonna go for manage assignment, and in here I will add assignment. I will pick my user, which is Yalla Salesforce Bassem, and I'll be hitting next. You have the option to set an expiry date for it, but for now we will go for no expiration date. Now I assigned it.
Hey, someone else joined us.
Hey, Helly. Good morning.
Hi.
How are you?
Fine, and you? Sorry to be late.
No problem. Thank you very much for joining. All right. So the next step is permission set. Go to the permission set, and we have already existing data cloud user, and we have prompt template user. We need to do those assignments for us. So you can go to the user itself, or we can follow what they said just from the permission set itself. We can go for in here and do the D, and we will find data cloud user, and we can follow the same steps, which is manage assignments and add assignments, and do the same thing. Assign it for my user and hit assign. The next one is, so when we go to the permission sets, the next one is the prompt template user. So we're gonna go for the P this time, and we'll go for the prompt template user, manage assignments, and now we ended up with 3 assignments so far. The one use Agentforce for setup, the second one is data cloud, the third one is the prompt builder. Now, my user had the 3 permissions. Now it's the time for activating Agentforce. In order to activate Agentforce, we're gonna come in here into the home setup, and we'll write agents, Agentforce agents, and we're gonna toggle this one. The next one, after we enable the Agentforce in general, we need to enable setup with Agentforce. So we're gonna go again to the setup and go for the setup with Agentforce. And in here, I want to make it available. So I'm gonna toggle this one, and I will refresh my screen. Everything when we enable with Agentforce, it's good to hit a refresh button. So it's gonna bring the new experience. Now you will see the setup started to change. So we have now this bold one. When you go to home, you will be able to see now we have our agent is ready for us to perform whatever we need. We have a special shortcuts in here that we can ask the agent to do. Once you click, it's a console experience. So you're gonna open a tab and start working on your prompt. And I believe this is the wrap for this specific unit. So let's check the challenge where we are so far. So far, so good. When it's ready?
This is funny because like this is literally my first time. So you're getting my live reaction going, oh, it's a console. This is all different. I can collect side. This is great.
Yes. It's a different setup experience.
You're getting my live reaction. This is my first time doing this.
Love it. It takes its time, but it does all the magic. So, and we made the first unit. So
Afterwards, we got to mention Cheryl. Be like, look at that. We did this together.
yeah. All right, great team. So the next unit is to streamline the equipment rentals. So guests are coming over. They want to enjoy their day, enjoying the resort, and they're gonna be renting some equipment and enjoying their day. And at the very end, they're gonna come back and return those equipments. And we need to track that in Salesforce, because before it was all manual process, and it's in order to do those rentals, since it's it's not available out of the box for rental. So the admin here decided to create a brand new custom object, but we will do it in a different way. We used to do too many clicks before. Now we will do the prompt and let the agent do the magic for us. At the very end as well, we need to say thank you for who rented, and who rented will be a contact within Salesforce. We need to send an email saying thank you once we change the status for that rental. And this is what we're gonna do together. All right, so how can we get into Agentforce again? For setup, it's your normal path. So if you didn't see how we opened it from the setup, now you have a brand new experience with this place to put whatever you want to do, and the agent gonna do it for you. So before even we dig more into creating the custom object, we can ask, let's ask the agent to help us, how can we create a custom object? So it's gonna open a brand new tab, it's gonna do the research, and it's gonna come back to you with the knowledge article that explain for you how to create a custom object. So you can even ask, you can provide the formula and say, explain for me this formula. So this is how it works. So agent is working to get the documentation. It's grounded in all help articles for Salesforce. And this is the magic behind the using the agent in here. So create a custom object, it give you all the steps, launch a new custom tab at the very end when you create a custom object, and then you can save the object and then go to the fields and relationship, all the steps we used to do, plus some resources as well, how this came. And then you can view the details. So it's gonna show you, this is became on the right hand side, you have your prompt in here, and then you have all the details on the left hand side. So this is if we just looking for instructions. But we're going to take it to the next level for even executing these instructions for us. Now, we just talked about the rental. We need to create a brand new custom objects. It's called beach rental. We need to specify that we have an ID. The ID will be a text. We have the guest, which is a contact. And when we do the prompt, we're going to give some hints for the agent to avoid creating like another custom object for the contacts. We will give a hint in here saying reuse the existing contact object to avoid any hallucination or creating custom objects that we don't want to. So guest lookup to contact, and then we'll have a type, which will be a pick list values of those values. So all what we're going to do, we are asking the agent. So I'm going to even go back to the home, create a brand new task in here. And what we are saying, create a new custom object. And we are giving it the name. And they're going to track the rental equipment. These are the details and the fields and the pick list values. And let's see what can happen. So it's going to take its time. And it will give us a great interface showing you what they are planning to create. And nothing gonna be executed until you hit approve and confirm these instructions in order to start the execution. So far, so good?
Yeah, so surely they create the app that is set up, and they build everything in the back with all the tab and everything. And we just create the agent in it, and we just send the prompt, and it would create the object and all that.
Yes, we didn't ask here to create an app. We just asked to create the custom object in order to use it. But yes, it can create the tab, it can give the permissions. And we're gonna see different pieces of the admin. But in here, in this specific task, all what we asked is create a new custom object.
Okay.
And now it's giving you the draft, which is saying now we have an object API name, and we have the equipment, we have the guest, we have the type. I noticed even while
Yeah, I
I
was gonna say, I was like
Type
that
1.
one.
Yeah,
And I
step
spent like
one.
15 minutes yesterday saying, Mr.
Did
Agent,
you already create one? So step one.
Mr. Agent, can you please, or Mrs. Agent, can you please change this type 1 to be type? And I gave up. The agent
Yeah,
decided to not change it. But let's try. Maybe you will be lucky
yeah,
today.
maybe you have since yesterday, you know? A bunch of people ask him, so he's like,
Yeah.
okay.
Can you? Yes, you are right. Maybe it trained overnight. Can you change the API name for the field type to be type underscore underscore C? And do you have the same thing, type 1, in your screen?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay. So something in the
So he's going to be type one.
And I wonder if because it's a reserved field or like it's a
maybe
standard,
it's
they try to
just an
use
object.
some kind of
Mm.
separation.
Maybe. Yeah. Yesterday, because I wasn't sure whether it gonna see exactly the same behavior. So it's changed it to be type underscore C underscore underscore C. So
Let me
which
see.
is no, I need the
And
field.
if you say any type underscore C, the API. If you tell him like direct, you know,
Here we go.
It ignored me. It was like, nope,
Ignore
I'm not
me
gonna
as
change
well.
it.
I said, can you change the API name for the field type to be type C? And it changed the field label and it made it this way. But anyway, we are asking again one more time, and this is gonna be the last time because I tried multiple times using different prompts yesterday, and I did it manual at the end.
it's just the way they build in the back, you know, so
Yeah.
you cannot like.
All right. So when I asked it, no, I need it to be type, not type underscore C as a field
Okay,
name.
here.
That's
Here you go. So I
Yeah,
inquired, I said, can you clarify why the API name includes one for the type field? The
very
inclusion of one in the API name for type field is an automatic adjustment to avoid conflicts with existing fields or reserved keywords inside Salesforce.
yeah,
There you go. So that's I'm assuming it's part of the definition behind
maybe.
the scenes
Yeah,
as a skill for reserved words.
makes sense.
They've included some things. I like X.
Yeah.
I include X on things. But that's interesting because yeah.
It's
They
a
did, but then
small-
look, it says in this case, I've already updated the API name to type underscore underscore C as per your request.
yeah.
Let's see that they actually did it though.
Let's
No,
see.
it still says type
So-
1 underscore underscore C.
Yeah, I gave up yesterday and I did it like manually at the end.
Okay, interesting.
Let's hit confirm, and now this is gonna be the time for executing it.
Did you also add the status field? The next step.
No, not yet.
Okay.
So we're gonna confirm this guy, and then we will add the status field. So we created only the type of the rental, but we just mentioned that we need to track the status in order to start having automations. And now we are adding an extra custom field that we missed. I will add as well because when we generate the flow, it will need the sysadmin to have access to those fields. So I will give an extra prompt in here saying grant, read, edit access for sysadmin profile. Can you please grant, read, edit, thread, access, system admin profile? Let's see if it will work or not. Now we are doing that, and we are having the status now. I can't edit profile if there is anything. Nope, thank you. Okay, we'll do it manually. Sounds great. So now, since we are the human in the loop, so let's verify where we are now. So do we have the rental beach? Oh, even the object became beach rental 1. So let's see. Let's do some fixes in here. So we have beach. Do we have the object? We have the despite the fact in here, it was showing beach rental 1, but the API is correct when it's executed. So hopefully it's gonna be the same thing for the type. So in here, within the fields and relationship, we created 4. We have the equipment, we have the guests, we have the type, but the status hasn't been executed. So I'll go back in here.
Ooh, hang on.
Yes.
So I did the same thing. So I said, can you ensure that the system admin profile has access to the object? and field level security, and it says I can't edit profiles.
Yes, it gave me the same message. I can't edit profile.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah. However, later on we can create a permission set, but it seems it has a limitation in changing the profile, or maybe the assignments even can
I
happen.
wonder if that's some of the guardrails
Yeah.
that they have.
But we can let's try and to create a permission set. Create a permission set will give all cred access.
To the
And
Agentforce.
yeah, sorry.
Yeah, because Agentforce doesn't have access to it. Because he has the same permission set than you.
It's like me.
But yeah, but this one, this Agentforce, like I'm saying, like is not create like the admin with all, modify all.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe it's the reason, the guardrail.
Maybe, yeah.
Okay, I'll try to.
I am giving a clear instructions.
Yeah.
So, and I am the admin, so I have the power to do it myself. But yes, maybe guardrails around the agent. You are absolutely right.
Okay, is that I try to understand the Agentforce so it's well here in the back. I
Yeah.
still have issue with that.
Beach rental PS to grant all the access. So I'm just creating a permission set in here for the beach rentals, giving me all the access. And let's see if the permission set as well will be blocked or not. It's interesting to try and see what are the boundaries for the agent. The draft permission set has been created. Would you like to proceed? Yes. So we have permission set and we can view the details as well in here. Let's confirm and view the details. And now when I go to my user, confirm.
You see the API name, they put underscore PS.
Yeah.
So it's all the time like that for permission set? The API is always underscore PS?
No.
No?
It's because it named itself the draft because the name is PS. I added PS, so API automatically change any space.
Oh, okay.
So multiple object match. We have the beach rental and beach rental one. Oh, they created two objects, it seems. Or what?
Because when it's costume is underscore C.
Yeah. The agent
API.
created two objects, one for beach rental and one beach rental one in here. For me. Is it the same scenario in your end, Anne? Created two objects as well?
I wonder when you hit confirm twice.
Maybe.
I wonder if it was
twice
confirming the creation of it twice, right? Yeah. Whereas I didn't confirm until after I asked it to modify and add that extra status field.
Nice. So we have now the beach rental PS, which is, let's go to the user, my user, and I will say details. And within the permission set assignments, let's see. Edit assignment, and let's see this permission set, which is called the beach rental PS became available. And I will hit save. Now I have this permission set. We just made it on the fly. And before even we go further, I will go for the permission set to see the definition within the permission sets in here. Beach. Let's see what do we have in this beach rental PS. And let's view the summary for it to see what happened in this permission set the agent done for us. So we have on the object permissions, it gave all the cred as I asked for: read, edit, create, delete. For the fields permissions, it gave read and edit for those two, equipment and guest. We created the status, we created the object. Now I want to just go for the sysadmin as well.
When you're on the screen here, it says not require.
So this is the view summary for the
this one. Yeah, not require. You see? Activity worker. What is that?
Required. Session activation required. You know that the permission set can be assigned or it can be session based. So for this specific session, grant this specific permission set, and after you close that session, this permission set is no longer assigned. So it can be a session based permission set assignment.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So in here, it's saying it's not session activation required for this permission set, and we are just assigning to a user.
Oh, okay. So the next time we log in, it will not appear anymore.
Yeah, but I assign it to my user. So this is, I didn't provide any session based or activation for this permission set.
Okay. I didn't know that there
Yeah.
was session, for permission set. I thought it was all the time when you assign,
Yeah, this is a way, or you can make it session based.
Oh, this is
Yeah.
cool. I learned a new thing.
It's a relative. Well, I say relatively new, but then it's probably been 5 or 6 years since it's been introduced. Permission sets originally did not have that.
Yes. Neither the expiry date as well. So you use when you have the permission set, it's always with you. But again, a couple of years ago, they introduced having an expiry date. You can take it for a certain time if you are covering someone, and then you want to expire it after. So this is how it works.
I would say
Yeah.
the best way to describe it, these new features are based on feedback from the customer base, because we want to have more control. We don't want anything to be permanently set it and forget it, unless of course you want to apply that. So having the session level and the expiration date allows for more flexibility, especially if you're working with something very temporal, very sensitive, and you only want it within a session, or you have to grant and or affirm something before applying that permission set to that individual for a given session. So for example, one of the things, I'm trying to remember where I was at, I think it was Gap. One of the things that we did was when we did to do refunds and we had to put in credit card information, we had to essentially check out and confirm so they can have an audit record that I can access credit card information so that I can apply the refund through Salesforce. So that would be an example of where you would have a session check to confirm that I can have the super sensitive information due to PCI compliance.
Wow.
And then kill that session for that data because I no longer need it. It's on an as a needed basis. As Bazem was saying at the beginning, that kind of least privilege, it can also be described not only as a role, but also within your session or activity that you're performing.
Makes sense. Wow. I love the
it's
scenario and the real life scenario.
Yeah.
I'm old and I've done a lot of things.
No,
It's great, it's
great
great
experience.
because like it's something like that. I was like, I was thinking about training, when you train someone. Because when I work at Apple, like I was thinking about this way, like to give them access to this project, when you train them.
That is also and so that would be presumably like for this period, you're going to be shadowing Bazem. So we're going to grant you temporary permission to this whatever, like let's say temporary access to this object while you shadow. And then once you've gone through the credential life cycle or other different things, right, then it can be applied permanently on your user record.
And this, I'm assuming the other scenario might be aligned more with the expiry date if you are shadowing for a certain period. But I believe the session based, if you want to take like for this specific session, for this specific scenario, you need to assign it for this session and then take it away, expire after. So this is like on the fly assignment. I believe is going to be the scenario for the session based. Maybe as I mentioned, in this specific scenario, I need to assign that, or maybe as well if you are in a geographic location and you need for certain sessions to give extra assurance or give extra permission for this specific session. So this is where you assign the session based. So it's again, it's a time period, or it's a session, or it's permanent. So those are the three buckets.
Yeah, and I would say where it's very powerful is using, especially if you're doing custom development, in those highly, I'll call it sensitive and specialized scenarios, custom permissions that is typically used in Apex, right, to access, I would say, maybe higher or more sensitive areas. Custom permissions with that session variables makes it really powerful. So like you could really immediately shut that access off when you're no longer requiring access to that sensitive information or that elevated functional access.
Yes. Great conversation. And thank you, Hildy, for picking up this gray box, which
I'm a data oriented, I'm data analyst, so there's some of the thing I block on it and my brain is like, what is it for? And I think about that, and after I'm like, oh shoot.
we made All right, so in here, it's the time for the flow. We created the object, we created the fields, we have the permission. Let's create a flow. So when the status is changed, so I'll go back in here and ask the agent, let me do this, create a flow. When the status change, we need to send an email saying thank you for returning this equipment. So what we're gonna do now, we can guess it's gonna be a record trigger flow, because we need when a change happen on a record, and we need to send an action. That means it cannot be before, it has to be after in order to use an action, which is sending an email. So create a flow, name that start when beach rental status is changed to return, and let's confirm. And let's see this flow.
Let's see how yours reacted.
Sorry?
I said, let me see how yours reacted. So
Yes.
when I hit confirmed, it didn't actually confirm the first time. But so down below, like, so what's weird is this one's a little bit different. You have the button to confirm, but it also had like other recommendations. And the other recommendation was like proceed and like other different things.
Let's see.
I had to hit proceed in order for it to actually create the flow. When I hit confirmed, it did nothing. It just repeated itself. It was weird.
Let's see what will be the response in here. The flow thank you has been successfully created. Nothing. I didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Which is
see, so down below, see where it says recommendations?
Show me details.
Right. So my first time around, it had recommendations that said proceed, blah, blah, blah. So I hit confirmed, it didn't do anything. When I hit proceed under the recommendation, it actually built it. So it was weird.
Interesting. And then when I clicked in here, now opening the flow builder, let's see, we have some errors in here. In the module said, don't worry about if you received any errors, but it's in here, beach rental. That's awesome. We are saying in here, not found. So it didn't find the status. And I can see it in here as well. So your has the status field enabled.
Actually, let me go and take a look at the flow.
Send an email. So we have an in here. So first, the good thing that it picked the right type. So it's a record trigger. We have a record is updated, which is great as well. Started to put in here, but for some reason can't see the status field, but it picked the right actions and related records. In here, send an email. It put the right action. It put the guest email. And we have a body as well for the email down there. So that's good as a starting point. But let me, so it was already saved.
So mine did work. Mine did find the status field. I did not have any errors on my end.
All right, so let me see in here. What do I have? So in the object manager, we have the beach. In here, beach rental. It's a custom object. Now, because for some reason status hasn't been executed as well for me.
Remember, so you created two objects, and I wonder if it created it on the other one.
Yeah, good catch. So let me fix that. And okay.
It's so it's funny. Like we're so super anal. We're like, well, that one needs to get removed.
Yes. So let me go back in here in the home, and I will go back add the status object.
So Hildy, I wanted to kind of share some kind of history. So back in the day, flows didn't have is changed.
Yeah.
And we actually had to compare the prior value versus the current value. And if it's the same, then obviously it did not change.
Yes.
So I'm really glad that they added the condition, or the, what is it called? What is that word called? The operator is changed, because they didn't used to have that.
Yes. It's a great feature. Make our life easier.
Yes.
Instead of equal, it's changed now.
So when you're before, they didn't used to have the operator is changed, and so we had to compare the prior value versus the current value to say if it's not the same, does not equal, then run it, because that, if it doesn't equal, that means it has changed. But now since they've included is changed, it makes it simplifies the way we define our conditions.
Oh. Yeah, because before it was equal, like in Boolean, it was the Boolean and all that because of the. Yeah, I didn't see was a change too, because I didn't do too much flow recently, so it's cool, new feature.
Yes.
I just remember. So I've actually, in my Salesforce journey, I was in Salesforce before flows were even a thing. So I've seen it grow over time and expand and enhance. So it's back in the early days, it was rough.
And it's growing dramatically, even in the ScreenFlow over years, and in the last couple releases, having the like repeater element, having the reactive functionality, having even the transform element, doing all of the great stuff to do it on the
We
fly.
didn't used to have the screen elements inside Flow. That's
Yeah.
also new.
So yeah, you have like most of the things that you can say, all right, I might not need Apex or LWC anymore. We have a lot in the flow to achieve.
So what I like about this session specifically is, although this is an accelerator, having the basis and an understanding of system admin um, functionality is obviously it's still very powerful, because you can come in and augment and deterministically reconfigure and or adjust what Agentforce for setup does. Because sometimes it makes a suggestion and you're like, why did you put the one under type? I don't want that there.
Yeah.
So it's good to be aware, even though Agentforce is helping you and making everything a lot faster, it's still good to ground yourself in having that technical acumen to make adjustments that better suits your organization and your skill set.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Now we have the status back to normal, but we have two conditions, if I remember right, Anne, in your flow?
Yes, sir. So what's
Status
that second condition? That's what Hildy was talking about, was the equal sign.
equivalent. So
Yeah, the operator, it was equal.
yeah,
Because I was, when you do like the condition, the if condition,
make it end. So yeah, it's a status changed and it's a status equal returned. Now we have the flow, and now we have the email. Let's hit save, and I believe we made it. So it done some good acceleration. Maybe when it's grown, it's gonna be even faster. And if I did the status from the first place, it will be okay. And in your end, and you found that it picked the right status and it's good to go without any errors if you have the field. That's awesome. Let's check if we got the flow right, and we got the record name here. Field container derived, the value is schedule or record. So we have in here some errors we still need to handle. Let's see in here. They didn't check the details for the flow. So the record guest R name field container derived value isn't supported in scheduled or record trigger flow.
Yeah, let me see what my flow did.
We're gonna do trigger, and I just need the guest name. It should work. So make it first name in order to make this flow to save. So saving it. Now there is no errors. We are activating it if we want to test it. So let's jump to the next unit. The next unit is about manage user access. So we are moving from the rental and the managing, creating the custom objects and building a flow to send an email. For now we have a group of people. We created a brand new role for marketing coordinator to manage the campaigns. So what we need to do in here, we would need to change the org-wide default for campaigns to make it more restrictive, using a private instead of public full access. We will also need to share those campaigns with a public group. So we will explore creating a sharing rule as well. Also, we have a user and we have a new user coming into our org. So we need to clone an existing user with all the permissions that they have. And this will make our life easier as an awesome admin. So let's jump to it. We need to create and assign permission sets. We are starting here our journey from the permission set creation. So we'll go for the setup. And from setup, we will ask create a permission set named campaign access. And we need to give the all CRED access, create, read, edit, delete. And we will need to make sure as well to give read and edit field for this specific field. So we're gonna come in here into our awesome agent and let's hit enter and see if they will be able to create that permission set. It's gonna give us the same exact summary with the table saying this is the object and these are the permissions, and the table with all the fields showing me the fields that will have read and edit access. So sorting things out, finding out, and then gonna generate for me the table. Now we have the draft of the permission set, it giving me create, read, edit, delete, and now I have the read and edit access. So once we hit confirm, it's gonna go and execute this permission set for me. So what's next? After we done that, we need for sure to view the details and validate once it's happening, but we need to assign it to Lexi Stevens. So let's go there after we make sure it's done. So now the create permission set is done. Human always in the loop. Let's open the permission set. I'm gonna open a new tab, making sure that when we view the summary, it's still showing me that I have for the campaign object, create, read, edit, delete, exactly as per my instructions. And within the field of permissions, you will be able to see it gives all the read and edit access. Now, let's go back to the same screen and say, let's assign it to Lexi and validate that Lexi has now this permission set associated. All right, analyzing, thinking, making a progress, and now the permission assignment is, this is the draft for it. Let's hit confirm, and once we confirm, it's gonna be executed, and we'll navigate to Lexi user, and we'll need to validate that the permission set now is assigned. So giving me this arrow, gonna open the user for me, permission set assignment, and I can see the campaign access now is associated. So far, so good? Perfect. Now we need to restrict the access on the campaign. So the marketing coordinator, like we need, now we have the permission set, but one of the new coordinators come to you with some concern that they want to see their team campaigns, and she concerned that well-meaning employees could tell guests about upcoming offers before. So we need to restrict the access. So in order to do that, we need to check first what is the org-wide default for campaign. So we're gonna take this, and now we have another as well, like access. Rather than going to the home for the setup, we can come in here and open the same agent experience for the setup with Agentforce. Now we're gonna open up, and then I can put my prompt in here. What is the org-wide default for campaign? So gonna take my prompt, gonna go for the sharing settings, finding out what is the sharing settings for the campaign, working in it, and then it's gonna come back with me to me saying the org-wide default for it is public full access. But this doesn't satisfy what the team is looking for. So we need to change it to private to make it more secure, to avoid like oversharing offers before it's come to life. So we're gonna change the default into private, so cannot be set to private. And why? Because all of them, the internal and the external, has to be the same way. So it changed, and this is not only for internal, so change the default to private for both. Let me do it to private for both internal and external. So let's see, will it work? And I love that we have an error in here saying that this is happening, but now when I said for internal or external, and the reason is you cannot have the internal is more restricted than external. I was playing with the org-wide default before, and I made both of them are full access. Now we have what we are looking for. Now both of them are private, and let's see whether it's gonna execute it or not. So I confirmed that, and let's hit proceed and make sure it is doing exactly what we are looking for. We're gonna go to the sharing settings to validate what's happening in there. So let me go manually in here into home and going to the sharing settings. From sharing settings, let's go for the campaign, and campaign in here on the top. And now let's see, now it's both private. But now we will need to create as well a sharing rule. So the next step for us that we need to create a sharing rule that share campaign records with the type marketing, with the marketing coordinator group. All of that group we just created. So I'm gonna go back in here into the home, and I will say, let's create a sharing rule. Hopefully this is going to happen. It's going to take all the campaigns and it will make it read right for this specific public group. As a refresher, for the public group, it's a group of users, or if I have role on the other side of the hierarchy, but I need not only role to role, which is owner based sharing, I need to have certain roles plus another couple of users and another role on the other side and so on. So they don't belong to the same role together. So we create a public group, and now we are doing a sharing rule to share those specific records with that group. So now we done it. Now we have everything is happening. View the details. It seems it's executed. So I'm assuming when we go back to the sharing settings and narrow down again to the campaigns, now we will have a private. But on the top of that, we have the sharing rule in here saying it's type equal marketing, and the group marketing coordinator is happening. So it took whatever in here, the criteria based sharing, the type marketing, and it's shared with this specific group that we specified. All right, now we have everything we have in place. Now moving from like the permission sets and then to the org-wide default to create a brand new user. Sometimes creating user is painful. We need to make sure to clone everything. And now I have in here, let's start a brand new conversation with the agent saying, I need to clone the existing user who is Lexi Stevens. But as you know, that every user should be unique. The username should be unique. The email address should be aligned with that user to receive the password, but we need everything else from profile, from license, from assignment to be the same. And here, this is the beauty for setup with Agentforce. It's gonna give you a model, so let's see that in action. So doing the research for Lexi and then bringing for me the UI. Here we go, asking me for what is the first name. It's Kevin, and the last name is Park. Now, let's put the username as kpark@yallasf.com. And within the email, I'm going to put my name at yallasalesforce.com. And I will request in here to clone all the assignments. So as we just discussed that, what's going to happen, it took all the unique things from here from the user and copied over everything from Alexei. So the profile, the permission sets, the public groups, the license, all of this gonna happen. So in here, this is the draft for the user. And as soon as I click confirm, the execution gonna happen and we'll see a summary of that user. And then since the human always in the loop, we're gonna navigate to the user and see all of that. It's already happened. So the user has successfully cloned. So if we clicked in here, view details, you will be able to see all these details in here, which fantastic. And then we can navigate from here into Kevin user. You will be able to see the user license is Salesforce. The profile is standard user, permission set assignments, all the permission sets already in place. Permission set group as well got copied over. And finally, it's part of the public group. So far, so good? Sounds great. Let's validate the challenge and move to the next unit. The next unit is about monitoring your Salesforce org. Our awesome admin always couple steps ahead. So they want to be proactive. They want to make sure the org is healthy and it's seamless guest experience. And let's make sure of validating that everything is happening as we are expecting. So what's going to happen in here, we discussed last time that I can come in here and then go for the setup audit trail, where I will be able to see everything is happening within the org from setup perspective. But we can as well ask the agent to help us on that. So I can come in here and say, show me all the setup changes happened over the last week. Agent gonna take our experience and go for the setup audit log. Get me everything happened over the last week for all the events happening. But sometimes it's overwhelming because there are a lot of things happening either by our awesome admins or by the Agentforce for setup. So we want to narrow down. So if I clicked in here, view details, you will find a big table in here with multi pages. But if I need to just focus on the permission sets and who changed anything related to the permission set, I can even refine my result by saying filter audit trail data by changes related to a permission sets. And as soon as I hit that, this table gonna be revisited and it will be filtered only for a change set related changes. So far, so good. Now our life is easier. We don't need to go to the setup auditor anymore, doing our manual stuff. And now I have only focused on the permission set groups. Awesome. Now, the next section is talking about the user access issues. We need to troubleshoot user access. We have calling coming to us saying, I can't edit the cases. So all what we need to do, we need to ask Agentforce for setup to investigate what are the object permissions around cases for him so we can start to doing the troubleshoot. So I'll go back in here, open a new task and ask colon cannot edit cases. Let's which object permission does have for the cases for him. So we're gonna go do the magic, see what are the permission set assigned to colon, and then we will be able to find out where is the problem. So in here, it went there, and we found that the object permission for colon is read and create, and this justify why colon can't do this edit access. So the next step is what permission sets are assigned that is granting the read and create for him. So Agentforce is gonna respond to us with the name of this permission set. Our next step will be to adjust this permission set to grant the edit and delete, which is missed from this one. Because now here we have a permission set called cases create, but it should give create, read, edit, delete, but we are missing the edit and delete. So what we're gonna do, we'll ask Agentforce, can you add the edit and delete object permission to cases create? And let's see what's gonna happen. So now the draft change is there. Would you like to proceed? Now we are granting those two. Let's confirm the action. And now we are executing that case. Cred will have edit and delete as well. Now it's updated. So if we navigated to the permission set now, and we went for view summary, we will be able to see that in here within the object permission, we have create, read, edit, delete. All right. Agentforce for setup is accelerating our life and making everything is way easier than before. From investigation, from adjusting permission sets, from user cloning, assignments, all of these great stuff. Now, the next section is about monitoring your org health and usage. Now, if we came back to the home, you will be able to see that the security health score for the org is 65%. This is not good. So we need to double click on why the 65%. So I will review org security settings. So I'm gonna open a new task and say, let's review the security settings in here. So it's gonna give me like a table saying what are those critical items that we can prioritize in order to enhance and improve the security settings. Something like if I don't have any IP restrictions, if I'm not enabling MFA, if I have invalid login 10 times. So all of these things, you will be able to see it within our org. Would you like to understand the score? Yeah, why not? So let's see how this score getting calculated. So would you like to review high, medium, low? Yes, all of them. So let's see. I'm just chatting with the agent to see what are those different compliant and non-compliant. Do you need both? So let's see. In here, yes, high risk security settings, and we need both compliant and non-compliant for high risk. So let's see. Now we're gonna go get for me all of this information in a lovely table in here saying the MFA enabled by default. In here, it's false, but the standard is true. We have IP ranges, we don't have any. Maximum invalid login attempt, we have in here 10. However, the standard is 3, and so on. So now we have all of this information coming to us. We can start tackling it one by one. Now we have all of this information coming to us. We can start tackling it one by one. And this is the wrap. So what we did, we dug, and this is the wrap. So let's wrap it up. What we did a lot together. So we started from assigning permissions, and then we started to talk about we need to manage the rentals. We created the custom objects, and then after that, we created the flow, which is sending an email as an action as a result of returning the equipment. Then we moved to the campaign, and we created a permission set, and we changed the org by default. We done as well the sharing rule, and then we went to the user management part of the house. We investigated the user access, and finally we checked the org health, and we troubleshooted the access, and we changed the permission sets and all of these great stuff. And don't forget to finish your quest and celebrate as well with us, Agentforce for Setup. We made it. Thank you very much for your time, and have a wonderful day. See you next time. Bye-bye.